Hello everyone, welcoming you to start a new chapter named Microbes in Human Welfare Part 1. So before making the concepts very clear in a fun way, do like, share and subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified for the upcoming parts. So let's start this chapter in a unique way. So what do you think or what comes the first thought when you hear the word microbes? Microbes sunke everyone thinks about, all the microbes are very bad. But in this chapter we are going to see a new perspective that how microbes can actually be good microbes. So let's jump into the microscopic world of microbes, looking after their good nature that was unseen till now. So before understanding the good nature of microbes, why don't we look after where these microbes are actually located? So microbes की बहुत सारे different locations हो सकती है, but for our understanding, we stick to like microbes are present in air, they can be found in hot boiling waters present in hot springs, they can be deep inside the soil, they can be freezing cold snow में हो सकते हैं, they are even surprisingly found in human bodies as well, and water also has microbes. So in a way microbes इतने सारे different locations पे है, so you are going to find microbes everywhere around you. You can find microbes everywhere. There is no such place that you cannot find microbes. फिर वो बर्फ से जमी कोई जगह हो या hot boiling water हो or deep inside the soil, you can have microbes all around you. So that's why microbes are also called that they are ubiquitous, that is they are found everywhere, just like you say God is found everywhere. So what are the different types of microbes? जैसे जगह बदलती है, there are going to be various types of microbes that can be found in this world. So for a just brief description, you can see that microbes can be like bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, and each these titles can have different subtitles, like bacteria can have different shapes like bacillus, coccus, they can have a flagella for locomotion. All such variants can be possible when we are going to study about microbes. So here in the figure you can see that there is a rod shaped bacteria that has been zoomed because microbes are not possible to see with your naked eyes. So you need to see them under microscope. So microscope में जब लेंस लगा के when you zoom it and look after these beautiful world of microbes, you can have a lot many things that you can see under microbe. So this one slide can show you different types of microbes, like you can have a spherical shaped bacteria, you can have a rod shaped bacteria, you can have a bacteriophage, and bacteriophage is a microbe that can actually live inside a bacteria. So सोचो बैक्टीरिया इतना सा होगा, ये छोटे से बैक्टीरिया के अंदर that bacteriophage is going to live inside it. Okay, so you can imagine how small this bacteriophage can be, and that is the beauty of this microscopic world. You can also have different types of adenoviruses. You can have rod shaped tobacco mosaic virus, which is found in the tobacco plant. Then you can have bacterial colonies inside the petri dish for your observations. You can have fungal colonies. All this variety of microbes are present for our study. Microbes can have a lot many useful things, but for this slide we are going to see कि microbes का good में beneficial nature अपने household products में कैसे useful है. So you might have all eaten curd, right? Everyday product curd जो हम खाते हैं, that is all a gift from microbes. So how is this curd actually being made with the help of microbes? तो microbe जो responsible है for curd formation is nothing but lactobacillus. This lactobacillus is going to produce a acid, that is lactic acid, और उसकी वजह से it is also called as lactic acid bacillus, or in short you can call it as lab. So curd जो है that is a gift from lab, that is lactobacillus. तो अगर lactic acid bacillus अगर नहीं है, then making of curd is almost impossible. So how is this actually going to function? So ये जो bacteria है, that is lactobacillus, it is going to naturally be present inside the milk. तो जब ये bacillus is going to grow inside the milk to a certain amount, that is going to convert the milk into creamy tasty curd. So curd बनाने के लिए you need to have the acid, and that acid is going to be produced by the bacteria present inside the milk. जैसे ही acid produce होगा, because of this bacteria, it is going to coagulate the milk. Coagulate होगा यानी the partial digestion of the milk protein. और बताओ milk protein कौन सा होता है? Milk protein is casein. So जब casein protein दूध के अंदर का partially digest होगा, that is going to convert the milk into curd. But you might have seen that अगर दूध को ऐसे ही खुला छोड़ दिया जाए, that is not going to convert into curd. And when it gets converted into curd, when you add a starter. और starter क्या है? You can also call it as inoculum. And you might have seen someone preparing curd. So how is the process of preparing curd? First of all, you have to bring the milk to a lukewarm temperature. And जैसे ही वो थोड़ा temperature rise करेगा, you are going to add already pre-prepared curd. तो pre-prepared curd जो होता है, that is going to be your inoculum. जो पहले से बना हुआ दही होता है, that is going to have a high amount of lactobacillus. और ये high amount of lactobacillus is going to act as a starter, and that is going to help to convert milk into curd. तो जैसे ही पुराना बना हुआ दही नए दूध में जाएगा, the culture is going to spread inside the milk, and that would be converted into curd. So you know, curd is more healthy than milk. Why? Because curd is going to have vitamin B12, और vitamin B12 दही में ज़्यादा होने की वजह से you say that curd is more healthier than milk. So in stomach, in stomach, when you eat this curd, the bacteria that are intaked with the help of curd, that is the lab, that is going to help you in a very beneficial way, as it is going to check the disease causing microbes. जब दही खाते हो, उसके अंदर का बैक्टीरिया is going to keep your gut very healthy, and it would help to fight against the other disease causing microbes. That is the reason you are advised to have curd in your diet. Now let's see a very interesting product that you might have enjoyed many times, that is nothing but cheese. So cheese is also a gift from microbes. Microbes की वजह से ही cheese is that delicious, and how it gets produced, that is again because of microbes. तो milk से cheese बनने की जो process है, that is again because of these microbes. So first of all, the milk that was having the protein that is named as casein. तो casein जब partially degrade होगा, and this partial degradation is going to be because of the microbes present in it. So partially digest जब होगा casein, and that is going to make the cheese. So you know there are different types of cheese, and each different type of cheese is because of the specific microbe used to prepare it. So generally cheese बनाने के लिए people prefer using bacteria and funguses, and with this you can have different tastes for the cheese. So for example, you can have the very delicious Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese की क्या खासियत है? It is going to have holes in its cheese. So you can see in the figure over here that the Swiss cheese is going to have holes, and these classic holes make it very creamy, and that is all the gift of microbe called as Propionibacterium shermani. This is the bacteria that is going to help to get the perfect taste that is required for Swiss cheese. Another example can be Roquefort cheese, and that is because of Penicillium roquefort, and that is a fungus. तो penicillium fungus जो है, that is going to be purposely grown onto the Roquefort cheese, and that is going to give its significant taste. वैसे ही Camembert cheese जो होता है, that is going to have a crust of फंगस और वो फंगस होती है पेनिसिलियम कम्बार्टी. So you can see in the figure over here, Cambart cheese जो है that is going to have a crust, और ये जो crust है that is because of the fungus that is grown onto this cheese, and because of these microbes only these cheese get a particular taste that they are significant for. Now a little fun thing, going back to your childhood memories, you remember that this Swiss cheese was also seen in one of your cartoons. You might remember Tom and Jerry, right? So Tom and Jerry में जो Jerry के हाथ में cheese होता था, that cheese was nothing but the Swiss cheese that he used to enjoy. And you know now that the Swiss cheese is because of nothing but the bacteria that is going to give its particular taste. So now you can relate that Tom and Jerry wala cheese is nothing but the Swiss cheese with its classic holes present in it. Now let's see one more interesting food item that you enjoy every day, that is bread. So bread is again very delicious because of microbes. So bread banane ke liye bhi you need microbe. So where it is used, let's see. So first of all, the dough that is going to be prepared for making the bread, that needs to be fermented, or fermentation process जो है that is going to be because of baker's yeast. Baker's yeast कौन सा microbe होता है, that is going to be Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So this particular microbe, Saccharomyces, is going to convert the sugars and ferment it under anaerobic condition. So you know fermentation is going to be anaerobic process जिसमें ऑक्सीजन की कमी की वजह से the fermentation process is going to occur, और fermentation में you know that CO2 is going to be released. So ये CO2 जो release होता है after the fermentation, that is going to help the bread to be puffed up. So puffed up appearance जो होता है that is all because of CO2 released by this fermentation process. So जो yeast होता है that yeast is going to produce two major substances with the fermentation. पहला तो CO2 होगा that is going to give the sponginess and the holes present in the bread, और second product होता है that is ethyl alcohol. So ethyl alcohol जो होता है that is going to actually evaporate when you are going to bake the dough. So once it bakes, it is going to leave some empty space. तो उसका volume जब उड़ जाएगा, that is going to leave the bread to be porous and very soft. So both the products of fermentation, alcohol and carbon dioxide, are going to help to make the bread very porous and soft. So ये जो swelling process होता है bread का, that is nothing but called as leavening. And this process is again because of fermentation, that you can see कि bread का dough कैसे फूल के that is going to get very big and puffed up just because of carbon dioxide release. So ये जो puffed up appearance जो आता है, in that process there is going to be secretion of 3 enzymes, और ये enzymes होते हैं amylase, maltase and zymase, that are going to be present inside the bread, and that would be useful for your bodies to carry out its function. So bread is again going to be a gift of microbes. Now let's see another very different dishes wherein microbes are going to be used for the process of fermentation. So fermentation जो होगा again that is going to be because of the microbes inside the dough or the batter. So first of all we are going to see कि डोसा और इडली का जो बैटर बनता है that is again going to be fermented, that is a fermented food you know. So that fermentation is again going to be because of the microbes that are going to be used for fermentation. So जो rice and the black gram that are going to be crushed and made into paste, तो वो जो ferment होगा then that is going to give you light and fluffy idlis and crispy dosas. So again for that, whenever you are going to eat these kind of dishes, you must think that you are eating these perfect dishes just because of microbes. So again a very unknown dish, that is toddy. So South Indian peoples must know that this toddy is a traditional drink that is found generally in the some parts of South India. So South India में जो date palm होता है, that is the palm, that is going to have some sap, और ये sap that is the juice of the tree, जब उसको कलेक्ट करके फर्मेंट करते हैं with the help of bacteria, that is going to give you a perfect traditional drink that is called as toddy. A toddy is a kind of alcoholic drink in lesser quantities, because fermentation may you know that alcohol is released. So again, that toddy is going to have a bit amount of alcohol in it. Next topic about fermentation, that is microbes are going to be used for fermenting lot many dishes to make it more tasty. So fermentation is a process wherein food items are going to get more tasty. So you might know fish होती है, that is going to get under fermentation. सोयाबीन को ferment किया जाता है, and even in eastern parts of India, bamboo shoots are used to make food when it's get fermented. So soyabean or wheat जब ferment होता है, that is going to give you a very tasty sauce, that is soya sauce, and this soya sauce is the sauce that you use in your Chinese dishes. So ये soya sauce is nothing but a product of fermentation. अब सोया सॉस को जब वापस ट्रीट किया जाता है, इट कैन गिव यू अनदर डिशेस और प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक टेम्फ, टोफू, सोफू. सो टेम्फ जो होता है, दैट इज अ इंडोनेशियन डिश. जापानीज में उसको टोफू बोलते हैं, एंड चाइनीज में इट इज सोफू, एंड दीज ऑल आर काइंड्स ऑफ लाइक यू कैन कंपेयर इट टू पनीर. सो ऑल दिस इज अगेन द फर्मेंटेड प्रोसेस food that are going to be made with the help of microbes. Now let's see that how these microbes can be beneficial for industrial products. पहले सब देखा, that was your household products. Now let's see how these can be in the industrial useful for us. So industry में the biggest industries may have fermented beverages. So fermented beverages में सबसे important microbe होता है, that is yeast. और yeast का scientific name क्या होता है? Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So this Saccharomyces is going to help to form the fermented beverages. Any alcoholic fermentation में help करेगा, and that is going to give you the alcoholic drinks. Alcoholic drinks can be under wine, beer, whiskey, brandy or rum. All these are going to be because of fermentation that is processed by yeast. अब ये ईस्ट जो फर्मेंट करेगा, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द सबस्ट्रेट. सो कौन सी चीज फर्मेंट होगी, दैट डिपेंड्स हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू टेस्ट. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ द सबस्ट्रेट इज माल्टेड सीरियल्स और मोलासेस और फ्रूट जूसेस, तो हर फर्मेंटेशन जैसे ही सबस्ट्रेट चेंज होगा, दैट इज गोइंग टू चेंज द अल्कोहलिक ड्रिंक. So in this alcoholic drinks, the most common product or most common substrate is going to be molasses. Molasses is going to be the most common substrate that the fermented beverages industries are going to use in the production of alcoholic drinks. Another substrate is can be used like beer बनाने के लिए industries used barley malt. वाइन बनाने के लिए फ्रूट जूसेस यूज करते हैं, विस्की के लिए फर्मेंटेड सीरियल्स यूज करते हैं. अगेन these all were the alcoholic drinks which are comparatively having lower concentration of alcohol. जैसे beer हो गया, beer is going to have low concentration of alcohol, wine is going to have low concentration of alcohol, and this low concentration of alcohol is going to be because it is not going to be distilled. बियर और वाइन जो होता है, these are non distilled drinks. उसको डिस्टिलेशन से कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं करते हैं, and that is the reason they have low concentration levels of alcohol. जबकि अगर देखा जाए about whiskey or brandy, rum, gin and vodka, all these are going to be distilled drinks. So these distilled drinks are going to be concentrated to increase the alcohol level in them, और alcohol level जैसे ही increase होगा, the nasha is going to increase. So that is again because of distillation. जो natural alcohol level होता है that is going to be not more than 13%. 13% से ज़्यादा alcohol level naturally क्यों नहीं जा सकता है? That is the reason because yeast is going to die if the alcohol level increases after 13%. 13% से ज़्यादा yeast जिंदा नहीं रह सकता है, and if you want to increase the levels of alcohol then you need to process it by distillation जिससे alcohol levels बढ़ जाएंगे. Another very important industry wherein microbes are used, that is antibiotics. Antibiotics is the thing that most of the doctors prescribe when you get ill. So antibiotics, again microbes हैं that are going to help you fight against the disease causing organisms, and because of that reason it is also called as against life, that is antibiotics. But against life यानी antibiotics खा के you're not going to die, but actually they are against disease causing organisms, but humans के reference में they are going to be very beneficial to fight against those organisms. So now you must know that first antibiotic कौन सा था. So the first antibiotic was penicillin. That was an accidental discovery done by Alexander Fleming. So Alexander Fleming was actually performing his experiment on Staphylococcus bacteria. So Staphylococcus bacteria के जब experiments हो रहे थे तो he was actually he had to keep the petri dishes. So you must have visited the laboratories wherein you must have seen petri dishes. So petri dishes में जो Staphylococcus bacteria है उसको place करके he left it, and when next time he came and he was going to use a one more petri dish, and this petri dish unfortunately, or you can say fortunately, it was unwashed or unwashed था. So after many days when he returned to his laboratory he found a mold growing onto his unwashed petri dish. तो ये जो mold जो grow हो रहा था, so he actually did not remove it. What did he do? He kept that mold as it is and he tried to take the Staphylococcus bacteria and tried to grow onto this unwashed plate. So unwashed dish पे जब उसने try किया to grow that Staphylococcus bacteria, it did not grow onto this particular unwashed plate. अब क्या हो गया? He started to think, why did this bacteria grow onto a fresh plate but could not grow on the petri dish that had mold? So he started his experiment on finding कि ये mold ऐसा क्या release करता है that it is not allowing my bacteria to grow onto nearby its surrounding. So when he started experimenting, what did he find? कि ये जो mold जो था that was been growing on the unwashed plate, that was nothing but producing a chemical called as penicillin. तो ये जो penicillin जो release हो रहा था because of this mold, that was actually not allowing the bacteria to grow around in its surroundings. So finally when he found out कि the mold is the responsible thing कि बाकी के bacterias grow नहीं हो पा रहे हैं, that was the name when you got your first antibiotic, that was penicillium notatum. तो penicillium notatum जो था that was your first antibiotic, that was an accidental discovery by Alexander Fleming. तो अगर ये experiment नहीं होता था, it would have left away like that, then you must have not got the antibiotics that you have right now. So Alexander Fleming ने just discover किया था how this antibiotics is, but whatever the full potential antibiotics you get now very easily, that was because of two people, that is Ernest Chain and Howard Florey. These two people were the people who actually used this antibiotics extensively, and this extensive use was during the World War II. World War II में American soldiers बहुत घायल होते थे and they used to get deceased. So during that World War II they had used this antibiotics to treat the American soldiers. So these American soldiers could have treated हुआ when they understood that this can be very useful, and then the full potential antibiotics factories were loaded to get the penicillin for full use. So finally, happy ending. Fleming and Chain and Flore got the Nobel Prize in 1945 for their amazing discovery for antibiotics. So antibiotics exactly किन चीज़ों को treat कर सकता है? It can treat the bacterial diseases like plague, whooping cough, that is again called as kali khasi in local languages. You can have treated diphtheria, that is kal gotu, leprosy, the kusht rog. So leprosy was the disease that the Mother Teresa was actually helping the people with. So leprosy can also be treated nowadays with antibiotics, and that is again, you know now that antibiotics is all just because of the benefits of microbes. So again, thanks to microbes for giving this all good things around us. So now let's see that how microbes can again be beneficial in the case of chemicals, enzymes and other bioactive molecules. So first यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे about organic acids, और ये organic acids again they are going to be products because of the microbes. So first of all, citric acid. Citric acid is the acid naturally present in citrus fruits. जैसे orange हो गया, lemon हो गया. All these fruits are going to naturally have citric acid, and this citric acid is produced by a fungus named as Aspergillus niger. Aspergillus niger से जो citric acid बनता है, that is going to be used in different processes for dyeing, making of inks, medicines, about flavoring. So the artificial खटास होती है, the citric acid is going to be again artificially prepared with the cultures of Aspergillus niger. And you know that citric acid can also be used for preservation of food. So जो pickles बनाते हैं, in that pickles also you can use citric acid that is produced by Aspergillus niger. Second acid है, that is acetic acid, and acetic acid is the most common product of vinegar. तो vinegar बनाने में जो acetic acid होता है, that is because of a bacteria called as Acetobacter aceti. This bacteria is going to produce acetic acid, that is the most common ingredient for preparing vinegar. Second, that is the third acid, that is butyric acid. Butyric acid is because of a bacteria again that is called as Clostridium botulinum, and this butyric acid is going to be used in preparing rancid butter. So rancid butter की preparation में again the microbes are going to be useful indirectly. Then lactic acid. Now you know that lactic acid is going to be present for preparation of curd. So you know curd बनाने के लिए कौन सा microbe use हो सकता है? That is lactobacillus, and again bacillus is nothing but a bacteria. The next is gluconic acid. Gluconic acid can be made with the help of microbes like Aspergillus niger and penicillium, and this gluconic acid is going to be the source for calcium to infants, for cows and lactating mothers. So in this way, the microbes are going to be useful for production of organic acids that are very important for our usage. Now let's see the usage or the benefits of microbes in the case of enzymes. So enzymes में यहाँ पे various lists of enzymes है. So let's see how these are going to help for your daily usage. So first of all, first enzyme है, that is lipase. So lipase major component है for production of detergents. So detergent की जो quality है to remove the oily stains that comes from the lipase, that is going to be sourced from various types of microbes, जिससे oily stains निकल जाएंगे और मम्मी की डांट से बचाई हो जाएगी. So next is going to be pectinase and protease. Again, these enzymes are going to be coming from various sourced microbes, and these enzymes, that is pectinase or protease, ये क्या करेंगे, they are going to clarify the fruit juices. So you might have noticed the variations in the juice that you make at home. तो मम्मी ने घर पे फ्रेश मौसम्बी का जूस बनाया और आप फटाफट बाहर से एक ट्रॉपिकाना का टेट्रा पैक उठा के लाए. So whenever you pour that two juices onto the different glasses, तो आपको डिफरेंस दिखेगा. जो घर पे मम्मी ने मौसम्बी का जूस बनाया, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी पल्पी जूस, एंड दैट पल्पी जूस है बिकॉज इट इज नॉट बीन ट्रीटेड बाय एंजाइम्स. तो जो ट्रॉपिकाना का टेट्रा पैक वाला जो जूस होगा, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी क्लियर एंड स्मूथ जूस. So that clarified juice is because of the enzymes जहाँ पे वो treat हुआ है, that is pectinase and protease. So again these two enzymes are a gift of microbes. Third example है about streptokinase. Streptokinase is used as clot busters, यानी the patients who have clots in their veins or arteries or capillaries, जहाँ पे भी clot होगा on the blood clot, that clot is going to be dissolved by this enzyme called as streptokinase. So streptokinase कहाँ से आएगा? It is going to come from a bacteria called as streptococcus. So streptococcus genetically modify करते हैं so that it can produce this streptokinase, and that is going to be used as the clot buster. The next example is about cyclosporin A, that is used as an immunosuppressant agent. Immunosuppressant कहाँ पे लगते हैं? That is going to be needed to suppress your immunity, ताकि आपके जो fighter cells है body के अंदर, they do not destroy the organ that is transplanted. कुछ पेशेंट्स ऐसे होते हैं जिनकी किडनी खराब हो गई, किन्हीं का लिवर खराब हो गया, so they need organ transplant. So the organ that is donated and implanted into the new body, so the body of the patient is not going to accept it. So जब वो accept नहीं होगा, they are going to kill the newly implanted organ. तो वो kill ना हो, because of that the patient is lined up with a immunosuppressant agent, और immunosuppressant agent के cyclosporin A की presence की वजह से the organ that is transplanted is going to survive and function into the patient's body. So lifetime, once the organ is transplanted, you need to be on immunosuppressants ताकि वो organ destroy ना हो जाए by your body immunity. So this cyclosporin A enzyme is going to be sourced from Trichoderma polysporum, that is a fungus that is going to release cyclosporin for production of immunosuppressant drugs. Last example होगा about statins, and these statins are going to be used in blood cholesterol lowering agents. तो ब्लड कोलेस्ट्रॉल जब ज़्यादा हो जाता है, उसको कम करने के लिए द एंजाइम इज प्रोवाइडेड इन डिफरेंट सोर्स्ड मेडिसिन्स, दैट इज स्टैटिन. तो स्टैटिन की वजह से ब्लड कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल कम होगा एंड यू कैन हैव अ हेल्दी लाइफ अहेड. So all this was a short glimpse wherein you can see that how microbes can have a beneficial nature. हमेशा microbes बुरे हो, disease cause करे, नुकसान हो, it is not there. Microbes can be helpful, beneficial for you. So this was a little short trailer that how microbes are going to be useful. Many more parts are going to come for this chapter. So till then, for now, let's stop here. We will continue this story of benefits of microbes in different fields. सारे fields cover करेंगे wherein microbes can be beneficial, and that will cover up the whole chapter, that is microbes and human welfare. Till then, you have to like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get to know more about these microbes in the upcoming videos. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, keep studying. Thank you.